all are an elite defense. Boston is. Those are the only two really good defensive teams the Knicks have played, and they've struggled in each of those games. There's something about pressure that you notice in your assessment of them that can really help you all again tonight and trying to disrupt what they want to do.
Yeah, I think that's the name of our game, is to be disruptive in any way possible. The thing that we like to say is slightly reckless, just trying to make a play, on or off the ball, trying to be as disruptive as possible, make it uncomfortable for the opposing teams.
I think there's going to be a different vibe in here. Cup-wise, New York, Friday night, streaming in 200 countries, all that good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I think we're all excited for a night like this. Friday night in the Garden, I don't think there's any better place to be as a basketball player. So we're just excited, happy to be here, happy to compete.
So a ridiculous number dynamic from the other game. Obviously, I think you're 80% at the rim.
Yeah.
But Cleveland kept trying to get you out of that restricted area. What is your response now? Because everybody's going to try to do it now because you've been whooping on everybody. Now the bigs are going to come. You don't tell me everything, but your mental approach in trying to still get to the place where you want to get.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I mean, I just want to be able to attack, create, get downhill. I think if they're putting another big guy on me, I think we're going to create some advantages out of that. Being able to pull that big out of the paint now leaves a lot of the other guys a lot of opportunity to drive and score buckets. So, I'm for whatever defense throw at me. We're going to take it as it is, and, I'm just going to continue to play my game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the mindset is always to go in to be aggressive if you wide open, shoot the ball. But I think also the mindset is get the guys who are scorers the ball and in good positions and close-out positions, not just always assist, but also just give them early so they can get a head start of getting downhill or so they can create for themselves. I'm not going in and thinking like, I got to get an assist, I got to get in the paint, get an assist. And it's like just getting guys way easier advantages to score the ball.
The Knicks haven't played many elite defenses, just you all in Boston. How critical is it to get them uncomfortable and pressured and keep that offense from rolling, particularly the fact they don't have Jaime?
Yeah, I mean, him being out actually kind of makes him a little bit more dangerous too, just because they move the ball more. They're not really stagnant. They got guys defensively who can really guard, like Miles McBride, he can really guard, but also just offensive rebound. I think that's kind of probably going to be their mindset, especially at the past few games we played, is going there and try to punk us on the offensive rebounds and try to change the game in that way. So we got to do a better job of just rebounding and getting out and running.
How and in what ways has Spo instilled confidence in you to kind of, find a new chapter in your game, if you will, here?
I mean, since day one, he kind of just told me to just go in there and be myself. Change the game defensively, kind of just be reckless. I'm with whatever you are, just kind of just change the game. Don't go out there cruising. And I think most nights I go out there and try to change the game defensively. And offensively, just make the game easy. Just get in the paint, make your teammates better, shoot open shots. I don't try to do too much offensive end.
And in terms of this offense, I mean, this pace and the change of pace from last season is jarring from those on the outside.
Yeah.
What has it been like in terms of how this team has gotten conditioned from the offseason and now? What have you guys done in order to be able to run at the pace that you are?
I think it just makes everyone dangerous, and not just obviously the top guys of Tyler and Bam. Those guys are dangerous offensively, and obviously Norm. Just kind of focus on them. I think makes everyone dangerous because everyone's kind of live the whole time. Like if you can score, you get by your man, score. If not, make the easy pass. So I think it just makes us, like I said, more dangerous on the offensive end. And then obviously the pace, we get more possessions, and a lot of teams don't want to play that fast. And then defensively, I think that we got the guys to be really good to be able to play that fast.
You all in Boston of elite defenses struggled each time. What is the key to kind of keeping them smothered and not allowing them to have one of those big offensive nights?
Yeah, matching and surpassing their physicality. They're a big physical team. They like to hit bodies. They like to attack. They like to throw themselves into the defenders when they're attacking. So not giving into that, holding your ground, and flying around. They're a team that moves the ball. They shoot a lot of threes, and they're consistent. They stick to their game plan, and they got good, hard-nosed guys that make this team very competitive. So it's on us to match that physicality on the defensive end.
Davion is 7th in the league in assists that lead to points. So what, in your mind, is one of the people that catch some of those and score points, what's the right balance for him? Because he still has to balance in his own productivity.
I think just finding ways to get the offense going again. I think when we're playing in transition, it's easy for him to find guys because we're running the floor with him. He's super fast, so he pushes the pace quickly, so he knows he's going to have guys trailing. So he's able to flatten out the defenses and make guys get back on their heels. And then now he has kickouts for transition threes that me, Simo, Nico, and some of the other guys like to hunt. And then especially in the half court, I think that's when he's able to get going, because the spacing is so good, especially with me, with how the teams are guarding me, denying me. I'm always talking to him consistently throughout the game, like for him to attack to my side, because he's going to have a whole bunch of space to be able to get to his physical body bumps, to his floater, or open up where he can get to his mid-range pull-up, which he's been so efficient at. So just finding the right balance, I think he's been a great job at that.
Over the years, you and your teams are 19-3 against the Knicks. Is it something about this place, that team, anything that you've noticed over the years?
I didn't even know the record. I think Davion told us that he's never won here. I'm not sure. You got to fact check him on that. But I don't know. It's always a fun place to play in. The atmosphere is always lively, whether they're booing you or booing them, depending on what it is, because this fan base is really intense. But it's always a great time at MSG. I think we're ready for it. I haven't played an in-season tournament here, so I know it's going to be a little added extra edge, especially with the rivalry that these two teams have. So I think it's going to be a good game. So hopefully we win and push that to 20.
Well, they're a very talented team. Even without Brunson, they have depth. They have guys that can get it going. We know what Towns can do. And if his usage increases quite a bit, he really stretches you. So it's a cup game on a Friday night. We know they'll be motivated. We're motivated. We have to impose our game, our defense. We don't like giving up 130 like we did the other night. That's not a recipe for success for us. But you have to collectively do tough things to get a team down.
I know you love your depth. You can use it as a weapon on a night like tonight when they're short, obviously, at the tip of their spear, but they're just not that deep. You rolling out as many guys as you can, is that an impactful aspect of things?
We'll see. It's about us imposing our game. We're going to play, our guys and get into our depth, but you have to impose your physicality, impose your will in order to wear on a team. If you're just getting up and down and they're playing their game, that's not wearing on them. But, we understand that.
With Davion, what's the balance you like from him? From looking for his own shot versus what he seems to do best, which is setting up other guys, but having the right balance for him. What is that?
It all depends. I think he does a really good job of reading the defense, reading what the game requires. The other night, they were kind of staying home. They were trying to keep bodies on bodies, so he was able to attack and get to the paint, get to the rim, and those were the right decisions. But he has a giving heart, so he wants to get guys, good shots and get other guys going. They're a very good help team, so we're overall going to have to share the game and making sure that it gets from one side of the floor to the other.
What do you think teams are now going to try to do with Jaime? Now that there's obviously when he gets to the rim, he's 80%. Yeah. So they're going to try to push him back. What's coming and what's his response got to be?
Yeah, I'm sure more teams will put the 5 on him. The quicker we can get to that, what teams do consistently, the better we're going to be able to adjust and he'll adjust. Even the other night, he was able to get to the rim. He missed 4 or 5 that I know there's bigger size on him. But if 3 of those goes down, it could change things. His playmaking is improving, so that will continue to be an element of his attack. But, us adjusting to not have him be aggressive, that's not it. We want him to be aggressive, be who he is, and we'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. I'm looking forward to seeing that tonight.